Right.
And for our own students, I think what was important there was for them to see committed young people like
That's
themselves.
Right.
We often don't see that
Right.
enough.
Right.
At least they don't.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember after the guys had spoken and I asked the kids, now, have you ever known anyone or seen anyone talk like this about their own journeys? Whether it was about priesthood or religious life or just what am I supposed to be doing with my life?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And most of those kids said, no, I've never seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
And how important it is to be asking those kinds of questions. Yeah,
Well,
it was
the
very
purpose of the
powerful.
course is also academic, and,
Yep.
and of course for
Right.
David, this was a major
Right.
involvement, and sure. What did you see from the academic side about the students? How did they take this information, more so kind of reflect on it from an academic and intellectual standpoint?
Well, we haven't seen the final papers yet. As you know, those are due on Tuesday. So once you and I have had a chance to read those papers, we'll have a better sense for what they really achieved academically. But certainly from the seminar discussions that we were having, it was clear to me that the students had done close, careful reading, that they were seriously engaged by the written material they were asked to read, and also that they were doing the hard work of making connections between the written texts and some of the things that they were seeing and hearing. From the seeing in terms of the various guided site visits and hearing from the various speakers like Peter Stemp and the seminarians and Monsignor Frontiero and others, Donna and Robert and so forth. So it was clear to me that they were already on that path towards trying to integrate what they had learned.
Because by the time we had that fantastic tour of St. Peter's,
Yeah.
which was actually toward the end of
Yeah,
the visit,
yes, that's right.
those kids had terrific questions.
Oh, yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I think what impressed me, this is my first time to go on a Jan Term travel course, I kept saying, now, I know what I experienced in a residence hall during Jan Term, because students are going to a class for a few hours, 4 days a week, and they have too much time on their hands.
Right.
And I was looking at what we were doing, I said, now most of this is a 5-day to 6-day week. We are up and going by 8:30, and we're getting home at night, or we're at seminar and then going out or coming back. And I said, we're talking a good 12, 14-hour day of study, of sharing, of exchanging ideas, and I was very impressed. And a lot that went on when small groups of us just said, well, where do we want to go get something to eat? This is a night we have our own. And to sit at a table and to hear the ongoing reflection and discussion. So I was very impressed by the degree of academic work that was happening.
Good.
I ran into Brother Martin Ash yesterday in the mail room, and we were talking about travel tour courses, and of course he has a long history here at
That's
St.
right.
Mary's
That's right,
College.
because he was a travel agent.
And he was making the point that in long term, many of these travel courses bond people together in a way that they want to have a repeat anniversary tour because they've bonded with these folks.
Sure.
They've already graduated years ago.
Sure.
And yet they've explained the Joe Dangara course and to their wife or their spouse, and they somehow want to rekindle that spirit.
That'd be a wonderful thing to do.
This is a group I think that will have a long-term benefit.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
To a person,
Yeah.
these young men and women were just outstanding.
Right. They really, really
And I
are.
really was impressed on how, I know Joanne kept saying, and on the flight, she still kept feeling on the flight over, how will I be accepted? And she just kept saying, she says, every single one of those students said, I felt comfortable, I felt accepted, and I just thought that was a great modeling, too, to see a more mature person who is excited about all these things. And I do know that I've already been hearing other people saying, oh, is that possible to take this course if I'm a staff member, if I'm an older person, is that possible? And so I think there was a plus there.
Oh, I think so too. And I think that I was impressed by the way in which the kids embraced Joanne and brought her into their circles. And I notice even just in the meeting we just came from in Mission and Ministry, 2 or 3 of the kids from the group are coming in, not to see Father Sal or me, they're there to see Joanne.
Yes,
Sure.
yes.
So it kind of creates for the community that,
Yeah.
that
Right.
we want to
Yeah.
be, you
Right.
know. And I think
Right.
it takes a group of young people who are potential leaders in our
Yes.
school and
Yes.
our church,
Right.
and gives them that opportunity to
Right.
meet the head of the order,
Right.
you know, Brother Alvaro,
Right.
That's
to
right.
live on that campus
Right.
for however for 3 weeks,
Mhm.
to see something of that is they're accustomed to seeing, but also seeing it in in some of its best forms.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
think that was the other piece that I was going to say, that in a way that, first of all, with the 3 of us who were part of this, but having someone like Joanne and the students, when you were saying together, I was saying together and in association. We're modeling this Lasallian charism. So these things that sometimes become theories or nice phrases, I think we
We were
able to
living them out.
live it out and flesh that in a very real way. And I think, I mean, that was another important piece for me, to be able to see the general, to get the tour, to hear the panel of brothers speak, and that was very important, because it sort of re-enkindled in me, what does it mean to be a Lasallian partner? Here I am, a Salvatorian priest working for the Christian Brothers, and it connected me with the bigger picture and the bigger vision. So that was important.
Well, we hope that we've had a splendid year this year, and there'll be a few more years to come with
That's
a
right.
variety
Yes.
of other students
That's
and
right.
hopefully staff and
Yeah.
others who, maybe alumni, who might
Right.
be most interested in joining us on this pilgrimage to Rome.
That
Thank
would
you
be
again, David, and thank you again, Sal. And
Thank
there'll
you,
be a few
Mike.
there'll be a
Thank
few
you,
reunions
Mike.
to come. Probably a bottle of Chianti.
That
Sounds
would be
great.
nice.
Bring it on.